Okay. We have a long list of announcements today, so let's get the ball rolling. There you go. One sec. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. Thank you for being so disciplined with the coffee cups. So amazing. Thank you, thank you. Okay, first thing that I want to call everyone's attention is that next week is jazz. It's at Pazinga Fabrik. It's at, remind me the time, who signed up? 7, 8? What time is it? 8, right? 8. The jazz concert wouldn't start at 7. It's a Thursday. The 16th. Yeah, I know that Thursday's the only day, right? That you can't come. So next Thursday, Pazinga Fabrik, 8 o'clock, 20 euro suggested donation at the door. We're raising money for our charities. So exciting. Currently we have 57 reservations. That's pretty good. We can do better. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, as I always say, bring your butcher, whoever. But it's going to be great. Dorota is not here today because she is making sure that she is nice and healthy for said gig. So she's very excited, and there's also another female duo, so it's a double billing. It's going to be so much fun. Please don't miss it if you really can make it. That's next week, Thursday. I've been asked to pump up excitement for French conversation. Even if you're like kind of sort of interested in French and speaking French, please go. Because if there aren't enough people, then it feels really disheartening for the people who organize. So I've been told that it is usually on the first Tuesday of the month, but the time seems to be somewhat flexible month to month, depending upon who's coming. So if you have interest, please don't say, well, I can't go at that time, so I'm not going to go. Please do reach out to the French Conversation Coordinator. Astrid, is that you? Where is Astrid? Okay, I don't know where she is.
She's cleaning up.
Okay, she's still in the kitchen. Please do see Astrid or write an email to activities or something to say, look, I'd really like to come, but I can't come at that time. Okay? Amazing. Now, the bazaar. First, I want to thank Lori right from the front, and I'm going to thank her like 1,000 times because she just like swooped in like Wonder Woman and was like, I can do it because we can do this. So it's happening. So I don't have announcements myself. I'm going to ask everyone who's in charge of all the little things. First of all, does anyone not know what the bazaar is? No shame. Great, super. Nice reminder that we're not all on the same page all the time, right? So the November Bazaar takes place during our regular monthly meeting in November. So it's the same time, same place, same station, okay? And it is, again, it's a fundraising activity. It's a great place to come shopping for holiday gifts and birthdays and whatever, and the money is split depending upon the vendor, the person selling it, between the vendor for their costs or whatever, and money for our charities. So, it happens in this room, right?
Yes, so
Yeah, it's in this room, bunches and bunches of tables, and there's all kinds of exciting things, so it is open to the public. It is for our guests, for our friends. We don't advertise it on Eventbrite or anything, but if you know people who would like to find a cool place to go shopping for a little bit, this is the place, because it's for a good cause. So I'm going to ask Lori to come up because she has all the infos.
Okay, ladies. So far we have the bakery people, and the bakery people are going to speak to us, and that'll be Denise. We have Sue England, who's going to speak to us about her haberdashery table. That's a hard one for me to get out.
What's a haberdashery?
It's she's going to tell us. Because I was not here last year. Yeah, I was away. So anyway, so far, okay, we've got jams, socks, books.
Oh, can you, sorry. Jams, socks, books. I
really need some more vendors. We have art cards. We are going to have the raffle. Joan's going to talk about the raffle, which is a really big deal. Brings in a lot of money, and it will also have Roberta's quilt in that as well, and some other really cool things. Oh, and Anitra's, yes, Anitra's going to be giving something up, aren't you? A shawl or two? Okay, but I really could use, like, what happened to our jewelry vendors or pottery vendors? I'm looking. I don't see any hands going up. Okay. Anyway, I will reach out to some of our other artists and talk to them. The other thing that changed in the church today is the fact that every time we meet now, we must clean up and put everything back the same way that we found it. So like today, before you leave, please, we need this chair stacked, and they're gonna have to go back up here. So I'm gonna ask for some of that help. And then that means at the bazaar too. So I'm looking for cleaner-uppers and setter-uppers. So everyone knows that I am the coordinator. You probably have my email somewhere along the line. And we are gonna have clothes too. So that'll be good. There will be 3 people for clothes. Sorry, Mom. She couldn't hear. And does anyone else have anything to sell? Viv's gonna make a few wreaths, right? And if you want to, you could commission her beforehand. Yes, because, well, that makes a lot of sense because it's a lot of hard work.
And you can pick it up.
And then you could just pick it up. So that would be really good. Commission. Okay, and let's see. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn it over to my coordinators here.
Okay.
Bakery first.
Okay.
It's on.
For the last several years, Susie Cullison and
Yeah.
I have run the bake sale, which has always been one of the most successful stalls at the bazaar. And once again, we are asking for your help, your contributions, and your, I guess, engagement with the bake sale. I have a sign-up sheet, but you can tell I have not reprinted it since last year. These were spare copies last year, which I'm going to send around. If you can contribute something, whether cookies or cakes or savoury stuff or whatever, please sign up. I have not bothered putting my email address on because I know it, but I have signed up. I will send that around. Go on.
I have a question. Do things need to be packaged to take away for the bake sale, or?
No, we usually have a very good supply of bags and so on, and foil and so on, that you can wrap things up in to take away. So some people will eat stuff at the event, because on that day we don't provide biscuits or cakes or whatever, you buy your own. But other than that, people can take plenty of things away. It doesn't really matter whether you make things as individual portions, like muffins or whatever, or whether it's a large item like a large cake or flan or whatever. Again, that can be cut up and you can take portions away. Any questions? In that case, I shall start with Cynthia. I even provided a pen. Okay.
Next is Sue. Haberdashery.
Haberdashery. Hands up, who knows what that is? Okay. Yeah, I remember this last year because this was an international learning experience. Haberdashery means all those things that you've got in cupboards and things like that, which is pins and needles and odd balls of wool and thread and old bits of lace and everything like that. It might also mean things like knitting needles.
So the word is Kurzwaren.
Kurzwaren. Okay, in German, Kurzwaren. In American,
Wait.
Yeah.
sewing items.
There is a word.
Okay, right. So what I had this idea last year and I did it, and it actually raised a bit of money. So if you have a search and there are things like I had, which is like, crochet hooks from my arms that have been there for 15 years and I can't crochet, just bring that along, and I lay it all on the table, and we just ask people for a small amount of money for it if they actually take something. So it's a way of disposing of all these items, as well as making a small amount of cash.
Should I go
Okay?
this way and come back forward?
Notions.
Yeah, Susie Cousin just mentioned that it's also a word for men's clothing.
Yeah, men's clothing.
Well, that would make sense, because it would have all been sold in the same sort of shop originally, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, okay, well, think about it. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hello? Do I have to push this?
Just close
Can you
this.
hear me?
As long as it's all the way up here.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm going to speak for the clothing group because the other two aren't here. Helped with this last year, and I would just like to point out there will be some very good clothing items there. So think about yourself, or think about your daughter, or whatever. And so it's not just stuff that was lying around, and well, it is stuff that's lying around in the closet. But it might be practically new, like the dress I'm going to bring that I can't use anymore. And beyond that, we will get here at 9 o'clock and set up. And, you know, last year we did pretty well. We didn't do super well. And let's see if we can do better this year.
Excuse me, will you take accessories and shoes as well, or only clothing?
We take what we get.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea is that we bring things too, nice things
Oh,
that we can also,
yeah,
yeah.
please. Stuff, because a lot of things are too nice for Carla, for the Carlin house.
When you bring something, is it all for donation?
Yeah, is that,
That's what
Yeah.
I want to know.
yeah, the money is gonna
All
go
for
to
donation, not
charity.
so for percent donation
Yeah,
and the rest for you.
I would not think with the clothing that there's any 10%, no, it's donation, donate your clothes.
It's a,
Get rid of your clothes,
I
bring
don't
them in.
did we do it differently last year, Esther? And
I don't know, I never, I
I
have
don't
something
think so.
and I want to sell it.
No.
Because,
I have very, very high quality cashmere jacket
oh,
and I
okay.
can't donate that.
Okay,
But
okay.
I would
Don't
like
donate it.
to put it on the table.
Well, come as a vendor.
Sorry?
Come as a vendor.
As a vendor, sure.
Come as a vendor.
Or Astrid, we can mark it and say this is just being sold, this is not
Yes,
for charity.
and
We can mark
people can
that.
ask for it, but
Why
what, because
not?
I got it on wholesale and it
Okay.
is too big, it is complete new, it is still wrapped.
Okay.
Oh,
That's why, and I can't wear it because it is
Bring it,
hell. and
bring it,
I-
we'll mark it.
Okay.
But we gotta make sure that we mark it, that this is not in the charity sale, but
Yes, that I want to know it before,
okay,
to be clear.
That's,
why not?
okay.
Why not?
Yeah. I guess actually, if anyone really has something that's that nice that they would like to sell, could add it to Astrid's table or whatever, you know, but generally the clothing is.
Generally, it's for charity. I'm bringing something I wore one time and it doesn't fit anymore because I've taken off weight. And it's a quasi designer high street label. So, but I'm, you know, and have an idea what you would like to have it valued as, and be flexible, because we will mark it on that.
And what happens if it doesn't sell? Do you take it back home again?
And now it goes to Carla, right?
Last, I don't know, this is a very good question, which I did not find out.
It goes to Carla.
so the question is,
Will it go to
That's
Carla
my-
because
my
Carla's not
understanding.
taking anything
Carla's
right
not
now?
taking stuff.
No, so that is a good question, is what will we do with anything that doesn't sell? Because last year we did. Marion, were you last year, did you take stuff
I
too?
don't think I was here, but I think we did take it probably to Carla.
But they're not taking
But
things.
that was before,
Yes, they are.
Well,
Mary?
people will just have to take it.
to the
Well, let's wait, there's gotta be another solution.
There's gotta be another one.
I have a suggestion. I donate all my clothes to the Spanish-speaking Catholic community,
Okay.
and they are in Heimeranplatz. They have a place, and they take everything.
Holy
So
guacamole, okay,
if
that's
we don't
great.
sell, the thing is I cannot transport the things because here I cannot come with the car.
This is a problem, I think.
But
it's
if
a
we
transportation.
arrange some,
Hold on one sec, because Penny's been.
if we arrange something
Okay.
that I just can come
Okay.
punctually with the car, pick it up, take it away,
Okay,
I can bring it to the
I'm
donation
gonna
spot.
put that in the book and see. And Penny, what was your question?
Where do we bring the things and when? Do we just bring them to the next?
We'll be here as of 9 o'clock, setting up.
So on the day.
On the
So
day.
just on the day. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay.
Hang on, just a thought. One stop down the line, Fraunhofer Strasse, just 25 metres where you pop up from the U-Bahn, is Oxfam.
Yeah, I thought about Oxfam too. Yeah, yeah.
Very easily
They-
take them there.
I beg your pardon?
No, the Frauenhaus is not taking anything either. Who is, no.
I have a suggestion.
No,
Since it's a charity thing, why don't, can we allow charity to kind of think about where they wanna send the things and then let us know?
Or do you have any ideas?
Or do you have any ideas? Or would you
Well,
rather?
think about it. Let's
Table it for now.
and
Yeah.
everyone think about it and email me if you have any ideas, please. That would be helpful. Okay.
Or, let's just sell all the stuff that comes.
That would be really good.
An idea.
Yeah. Just, yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Let's do that. So last year, we did the raffle a little bit differently than previous years, and it was a lot of fun, and it was very lucrative at the same time. So we have big items like Roberta's quilt and some beautiful handmade things from Anitra, and Cecily has some ceramic things that she makes and puts together with other things. So I think we have about 12 or 15 raffle items, and the way we did it last year was you didn't buy a ticket for the quilt or the scarves, you bought tickets. And then the first person whose name is drawn gets the first choice of everything. And the second person gets the first choice of everything that's left. And so on. And you have a very short time to choose, so you have to look at everything ahead of time. So it goes it sounds like it could be, but it's not. It goes very quickly and it's very energetic and everything. So we will do it that way again. If you have anything that you want to include in the raffle, possibly we can still take some things. Oh, we have some of Barbara's artwork in the raffle this year as well, which is lovely. But I do have a question from Cecily. Last year, she took a lot of time and energy to take photos of each prize and share those before the raffle, so people had time to see what was there. We didn't do that this year, but what we'd like to know from you is, would that be helpful? Do you think that you would prefer to see photos before you come? Would you be more likely to come? Would you be more likely to buy tickets? Just feedback about that. Yes, Angela.
Do we have to buy tickets before the day?
No, you buy tickets that day.
Then I don't care. That's just me.
Okay.
I think it would be a nice marketing strategy to just make pictures and upload them without any comments, just saying, okay, these are the items, to try to get some more people to come.
Okay, and Roberta said that same thing, that it would be much better for marketing. And last year, we did offer that you could buy tickets ahead of time, and only 2 people did. So it was just too much work for the payback. No good ROI.
No ROI.
Yeah. Harking back to my business days. Anyone have anything else to say? Could I just get a show of hands of who thinks it's worthwhile to share pictures of the items before the day?
Yeah, I mean, worthwhile. Sure.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about a suggestion for labor distribution there in a second.
Okay. Anything else I need to say about the raffle? I think that's good. Come. It'll be fun.
The only other thing I would like to say is, correct me if I'm wrong, this bazaar, don't we always collect for the children? This is for Christmas, for Frauenhaus?
No, that's the Christmas lunch.
The Christmas lunch, right. And so, I thought it was for summer programs, 9. Okay. Anyway, so is this going to a specific charity, or are you gonna discuss that? I'm just saying, like, that's something to think about too. This is a charity event. So loosen your wallets.
And tell your friends.
Yes, and it will probably go to part of it Frauenhaus, or
something? Thank you. Okay. Okay, that's a funny.
Miriam said what is in the raffle, just a little sneak preview. I know I brought some tasty treats from Hawaii, which is like a package of a taste of Hawaii things, and another thing of taste of Japan, like to make a sushi night. So those are two things. Cecily has made some lovely, there's a gorgeous pasta bowl that she made along with some pasta. There's another, it's like hand towels with two little birds that she made that are beautiful. There's the quilt, there are the scarves, there's Barb's art. There's a list of things on the website.
Yeah.
I can't remember everything right now, so you can read about that. But as you have all indicated that you would like to see pictures, I will let Cecily know that, because she has everything at her house. So that's why
Gerda's quilt is separate, right?
No, it's
Okay.
included in,
Just wanted.
unless you want, we were discussing, if you want to invest in a quilt, maybe we would let you do that if you paid closer to what the quilt is worth ahead of time. But I don't know, we have to talk about that.
But wouldn't it make sense to do that, do that separately, and because people would be interested in the quilt, and the first person who wins will take the quilt?
Not necessarily. That's not how it happened last year. Yeah, 2 or 3 people didn't, because her quilts are gorgeous, but not everyone has a spot for a new gorgeous quilt. So I wouldn't have chosen the quilt as beautiful as it was, just because I don't have a place for it. So we actually contemplated that, but it seemed like throwing it all together was a good way to get people to invest in tickets. So that's that. Okay.
Can we just clap for them again? I'm so grateful. So how are we doing on time? We really need to get to this amazing charity stuff. Something I just heard, because typically I go around and say, does anyone have anything cool? Has anybody seen something neat that they want to share, what they want to share? Cecily has some beautiful preschool music books. Am I right, Cez? Yeah, some preschool music books that are beautiful, that she's called around, the schools aren't taking them. Please put your brains into this, because who wants to put beautiful preschool music books into, yeah. You would think, but she's called, and sometimes they don't even answer her. So, if you have an idea, please see Cecily in the back. And one other thing, if anybody wants to go to Salzburg on Saturday, my husband is doing one of his music tours, just as an aside, and he still has like 4 spots open if anybody wants to do that this weekend. You could just hit me up about that, okay? Without further ado, I'm so excited to hear all about what Charity is going to do. Please, Beth. Clap for Beth. And for Dan. Go ahead and talk.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
No. Let's see. It is on. Check. It's not on. No. Start with that. I'm coming.
Okay, I was sort of hoping to have my hands free for notes.
Sorry, that's this mic. Now this is working.
Okay, I prefer that.
Yes, of course. Great.
Okay,
Yes,
is that
that's
good?
good.
Yes,
Yes.
wonderful. Okay. So, typically in the past, the charity report was done at the AGM, and we discovered that there is far too little time at the AGM to really go into the charity projects that we do, and they're so important to the club that we said, let's do a presentation. So that's why I'm standing in front of you. Anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Beth Feldman, and Danny Troutman. I've been on the charity team for only about 2 years. Danny Troutman is on the team for about 1 year now, and as of the beginning of the year, we have another member, Susan Sietes, who's traveling this week and can't be here. So, as you see, we're a very young team, and I like to say that because it's about the only time I get to call myself young. So we are a young team, but we have a lot of new ideas along with the charities that we've been supporting for years, and I would like to talk about those. So,
Switch.
switch it on. Yeah. Most of you probably joined the club for the social aspect. And this is a very important part of our club. We're an international group of women, we support each other, we learn from each other, we have a lot of fun with each other, a lot of activities. And this is a very important aspect to the club, and it brings a lot of members to us from all over the world. But charitable, we're also a charitable club. We have charities, and this is a very important part of the club as well. And I just wanted to mention, we have a constitution. I don't know how many of you know that our club actually has a constitution. And in this constitution, you can see that we very clearly define what the purpose of our club is. And we talk about furthering international spirit and tolerance and activities among women. We're advocating for equal rights of men and women. And we promote charity. And when you go through this constitution a little further, it talks more about the charity. What charitable activities do we actually support? And we say in particular, we support educational facilities for women and girls. And we support projects against violence against women and children. And this has been, over the years, the guiding light of our charitable activities within the club. We spend about euros a year in our charity budget. We have a budget for charity, and this varies, of course, depending on how much money flows into charity, which is why things like the bazaar are so important to us. When we see where does that money come from, where does our money come from that we can then invest in charitable activities, the lion's share of it comes from the auction of talent. And this takes place, as you know, every 2 years. We earned over 13,000 in February with this last auction of talent. And that's absolutely fantastic because it gives us that much more money we can distribute to our charities over the course of the next 2 years. So the Auction of Talent is a big money-making event which brings money in for 2 years of charity work. The November Bazaar is also important to us. The benefit concerts are starting to really be money makers for us for charitable funds. We're really happy about that. And of course we have the member donations. And someone mentioned here about, Laura, you mentioned about the donations made to the Frauenhaus at the end of the year for the Christmas presents. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But you can see that members do donate money in the course of the year for our charities, and that is also quite a large portion of our charity income. When you take just a short look of how we distribute that money, we have local charities. The major local charity we have is the Frauenhaus, and then we have a number of foreign charities that we support. But the distribution of the funding is 70% local here in Germany, Munich area, and 30% is on foreign engagement. This is always a question that comes up when people say, why are we doing these charities in Africa, for example, and why not here more in Germany? You can see we really do most of our charitable contributions are going to organizations here in Germany. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the various charities. And as I just mentioned, our major charity is the Frauenhaus Munich. In fact, this is in the Constitution that this is and remains our main charitable endeavor here for the club. And the Frauenhaus is, it's a project, or it's the institution from an organization called Frauen helfen Frauen, Women Help Women. And they have various Frauenhäuser here in Munich. We support one of these houses, and what the Frauenhaus is, in case anyone is not aware of this, these are very important institutions in Munich, and they're all over Germany, by the way. They are an anonymous shelter for women and their children who are experiencing physical violence, economic violence, psychological, or sexualized abuse from their partners. These are women who typically live in situations, very difficult situations for years. It comes to a point that sometimes they realize they have to leave their house now, instantly, middle of the night. And the Frauenhaus is where they can go to. The Frauenhaus provides advice and support for these women. Their goal is not to keep the women at the Frauenhaus, of course. They want to take these women in, give them safety, work with them to develop a safety concept for themselves, and then to provide them the means to establish a self-sufficient life on their own afterwards. So it's a temporary facility for the women, but they have a really a multifunctional team at the Frauenhaus to help the women build a self-determined and secure life for their time after the Frauenhaus. Okay, this team, for example, they have legal support. A lot of women have to file for a divorce, and then you have the issues of child care and this sort of thing. You have social workers helping the women to set up a bank account, collect the money that they can collect, housing and things like this, so to enable them that they can even pay for their stay at the Frauenhaus. It's not free for the women, they have to pay for it, but they get their money. Of course, there are funds available to women in these situations in the city that they can turn to, and they get help in doing that. What else do they do? Psychological support. A lot of these women are traumatized. Their children are traumatized, and they get support in that area as well. Okay.
May I ask?
Yeah.
Do they report to you on a yearly basis how much success they're having?
Success in terms
I'm asking this because I was for a few weeks years ago, I was at Horizon. I was at the Utis Vital equivalent, and it's a difficult situation. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I would personally like to hear.
I am the contact for the Frauenhaus in our charity team, and I do have contact with Sibylla Strutz, who's she runs the operation there, and we talk about things that we can do to help more than success rates, because and they're very careful about the information they give, of course. And obviously, it's necessary. But she has given a presentation, and Roberta, you were earlier. You had contact.
I've worked on the charity team. Yes,
Yeah.
you should maybe mention that the money we give them goes to support programs for their children.
Yeah. I'm going to show this in just a minute. Yeah. So Anitra.
I'm sorry to put this pressure back on you, but your microphone died.
Okay, I'm sorry, Beth.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So we're going to do it this way. Better?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, as good as a small group, I probably could have yelled and you could hear me too. Yeah. So anyway, these Frauenhäuser, they're very important institutions in the city for the women, but they're very limited. The one we support can only take about 20 women and their children. It's quite a large house, very nice house, but they're limited, and there are so many people that want to so many women in need. In fact, the reason, I just put a few statistics here to give you an idea of what the situation is. So the question, why do we support the Frauenhaus? And I looked at some European statistics and found out that every 2 minutes, a woman is a victim of domestic violence. Almost every other day, a girl or a woman is killed, usually by their domestic partner.
But where?
These are European statistics, but in Germany, and the next one is Germany, there were 265,000 cases of domestic violence registered in 2024. And they believe that this is just the tip of the iceberg. So this is an upward trend. It's getting worse. I think during Corona, it really peaked. 80% of the women of domestic violence are women. Men can also be the victims, but 80% are women. There are 400 Frauenhaus institutions in Germany, 400, spread all over the country. And they have facilities and space for 7,700 women. But in 2023 alone, 14,200 women and even more children sought shelter at the Frauenhaus. That means the Frauenhaus is only able to take maybe 1 in 4 women or children that really need them. So they need our support. They get support, major financial support from other institutions, the state government, the federal government as well. But we said, okay, we're a small club, relatively small club. We have a relatively small budget, but we want to help. And this is where we help. Last year we spent 6,526 euros. That's what we contributed to Frauenhaus. And what we do, and this is what Roberta was referring to, we don't support the house as such. We try to support the women, and particularly the women with children, to enable them to provide their children with a halfway normal life. To assure that these children are growing up as children. So what we do, we contribute 4,000 euros every year to the Frauenhaus for, let me make sure I don't leave anything out. Yeah, 4,000 goes to children's enrichment activities, and these are activities which then typically take place during the school vacations. Because you have to realize that the mothers there don't have the money to send their kids to sport or to music lessons or, you know, to take them to museums and things like this. The budgets are far too small for these women, and this is where we try to step in. We provide activities and local trips for the children during their school holidays. For example, last year the mother they did a mother-child trip to the Will Park Plain. They visit swimming pools and the zoo. And this was one of my conversations with the Frauenhaus, and we said, we think it's important the children learn to swim. And this is a big problem in Germany anyway, and these children are maybe even more endangered. So we made a point, we said, take them to the swimming pool, get them swimming lessons, do things like this. Our money goes to buy materials for, you know, the little kids make the lanterns in the fall time to walk around the streets, you know, all these little things which are so important for the children. And if the mothers don't have the money, it just goes by them. So we try to help in that way. Yeah, they take trips to the Deutsche Museum and to the Christmas markets. They actually took them, I think in the Deutsche Museum there was some kind of a program where the kids could actually make their own films. And that was a real hit, apparently. What we also encourage the Frauenhaus to do is offer self-defense courses for the children, which I think is really important. The mothers get this at the Frauenhaus, so the Frauenhaus helps them to not only become more self-sufficient, but also to be stronger women. But the children, we said, we would like to see that the children get self-defense courses as well. And they have done this. So I think this is money very well spent from the club. The other amount, the 2,526 euros, that was the money that was collected last December as donations to the women so that they can buy Christmas presents for their children. This is money that we send out a letter, we ask people to donate money, whatever they feel they can donate, and we collected this quite a nice sum of money, which enabled, and this gets sent directly to, well, we send it to the Frauenhaus, but they distribute it directly to the mothers so that they can actually go out and buy Christmas presents. This is always a big problem. The mothers want to offer their kids, of course, it's a nice holiday season, and money is always a big question. So we think that this is also quite a nice thing that we do. Okay. The next large charity that we have is the Safe House. Safe House is a project of the organization Hope for Girls and Women in Tanzania. And SAFE stands for, it is a safe house in the sense of the Frauenhaus is a safe house. But SAFE here stands for Safe Alternatives for Female Genital Mutilation Elimination. Female genital mutilation, also FGM, you've seen the abbreviation perhaps quite a bit. This is the organization that we primarily now will be supporting, well, one of the major organizations that we support in Tanzania. And it's run by this woman. Her name is Robbie Samweli. Robbie organized, well, she established this safe house in the year 2017. She herself is a victim of female genital mutilation, and she said it is her life's goal to eliminate this in Tanzania. And what is interesting, this is just a quote from her. It's interesting to know that in Tanzania, in the year 1998, the government actually criminalized female genital mutilation. And the rates apparently are decreasing overall, but not everywhere. And the safe house that we support is in the Mara region of Tanzania, that's in the north, neighboring Kenya and Lake Victoria. It's that area, and in that area of Tanzania, we still have a situation where 32% of the girls and women experience this cutting at the cutting season. Not only the FGM is a problem in that region, but also they have one of the highest rates of spousal violence, as of domestic violence, affecting 78% of married women. Over 50% of the adult women are married by the age of 18, not always voluntarily, of course, and only 21% have the opportunity to attend secondary education. That's the situation we have in Tanzania in this region. So, we said we want to support this. This was a project that we started, essentially in 2017. We were one of the first ones to support this institution. And I wanted to show you a short video just to give you a feeling for what, not only tell you some numbers and statistics, but also to give you a feeling for the situation in Tanzania, in the safe house. This is before we play this video, I just wanted to say that the Safe House is, what did I want to tell you? Yeah, that a lot of the girls, and you'll see this in the film, a lot of the girls, when the cutting season is announced, it's not a set time of the year and it's not all year long, but when it's known that the girls are endangered of being cut, they often escape home, they run away in the middle of the night with only what they have on their backs, and they run to these safe houses. And this is a very dangerous journey, you can imagine, for a lot of these girls. It's a very traumatizing situation for these girls. So when they get to the safe house tries to, they give them shelter, but not only shelter. They say, you can stay here as long as you feel endangered. We will help you. Our goal is to get you back to your communities, to your family, to your communities, but only on the condition that they accept the fact that you should not be cut. So this is what the Robbie Samuel, this is what she does. She does a lot of educational outreach to these communities. She talks to the village elders. She tries to offer alternative rites of passage that they will accept for these girls. It doesn't have to be that they need to be cut in order to be marriageable or to be, an honor to the families and things like this. Okay, so let's play the film so you get a feeling for what the situation is. This was a documentary made, a prize-winning documentary made.
Let's get the mic on the thing there. Oops, what they're standing in front of it. Okay. There's good enough.
Wangapi nyanyua mikono kama unataka kukeketwa ndo familia yako ipate ng'ombe? Kama hautaenda tutakuuza. Watachukua kwa lazima. Na hapa mwisho ni hapo mlipokaa kwenye msingi. Hauruhusiwi kutoka nje ya eneo hilo. Umesikia wasichana? Ndio. Mie mama alisema wangu wote wamekeketwa na baba alikufa anasema hakikete watoto. Wewe unakuwa salama. Umesikia? Umesikia? Mwalimu, hapo mtoto, toka jana sijamwona, acha mimi nikaa na kina ndugu. Mimi nakuomba sika saa ngapi na ndoka mtoto wako anakuja leo. Baba zangu, wengine wakiona binti, anamwangalia binti yake anaona ni ng'ombe zinatembea. Lakini ni binti. Nikuonyeshe kidogo binti unamfahamu. Mama, sitaki maisha kekete tu. Sijamkataa, kimekata ukekete. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh yes, I know. Tusikeketwe. Tusikeketwe. Tupendwe. Freedom is coming. Oh yes, oh freedom.
So, I always choke up when I see that film, and I've seen it, I don't know, dozens of times. But I think you can agree that this is an issue very near and dear to what we say in our constitution is our goal in this club, is to help women and girls that are endangered. So, anyway, the Safe House not only provides safety to the girls, but tries to make them also respect themselves, give them some self-confidence, give them some training. And they give the girls training, vocational training, for example, in tailoring and sewing, and computer skills. And with the hope that when the girls do then return to their village, they have something to offer their family. They become a respected member of their family, and can also be self-sufficient and have something that they can build on for their own futures. So, what does the Munich International Club, what do we do for the Safe House? We provide a academic scholarship of 1,000 euros per year, which covers the cost of a girl in post-secondary training. And the girl that we have been supporting now for the last many years, like I say, the institution is now from 2018, so it's a rather young institution, but the girl that we have been supporting, the Nima Lushena, she is a very interesting person herself. She escaped and went to the Safe House when she was 12 years old. She escaped her father, who insisted that she be cut so that she would have a bigger marriage dowry, which the dowry consisted of cows, that she would have more cows, she'd be a more valuable person for someone to marry. She escaped her father, like I said, when she was 12. She has essentially grown up at the Safe House. She has now finished her post-secondary education. She is now 21 years old. Okay, 21 years old. And she has actually now done so well with her schooling that she has been accepted to the university, which university is that? The university in Dar es Salaam, and she has actually already begun studying now as of October of last year. So she is a real success story, and she continues to go back and support the Safe House herself, leading prayer groups, as she mentions, and simply helping with the younger girls when she can. She is planning to study now human resource management, and her hope is, in a job in human resource management, that she can help other women with their career possibilities. And she said she was originally dreaming to become a medical doctor, but now she wants to help other women develop stable careers and assist in building an environment for more equal opportunities for women in the professional world. So I think she has quite an interesting future in front of her. Now that she has finished her education, we brought her through her secondary education, post-secondary education, so to speak, her vocational training, and we are now going to be contacting the Safe House to ask that we start with another young girl. The same thing. Find another young girl who looks very promising, and let them know that we would like to support them as well. So this will be a continuing cycle. I hope you can agree that this is really something that we should continue. As a club, the charity team would like to continue with this charity. So that's what we will do.
Sorry, question. We send 1,000 for this scholarship, and what else do we send to the Safe House?
It's just an educational scholarship.
It's just that.
Just
one
the
thing.
educational
Okay.
scholarship,
Okay.
right. The other organization that we have been supporting for the past 10 years And we will be bringing this to an end as of this year because also our girl is graduating. All of our girls are graduating now and becoming professionals. I think that's wonderful. But this organization is the Global Lead Burkina. It started off, and Roberta will know this because way back when, this started as a Falco organization.
We were actually the ones who really
Right.
proposed it. to
You
Falco, so-
and Alex Cup, right?
Well, that's a long story.
That's a
but-
long story.
But we got involved through Alex Koch. She came and spoke to the club about this organization, and we were so enthusiastic about it that we began supporting it directly, and then it eventually came and was a Falco Development Grants project.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. From 2007 to 2010, it was the Falco.
The Falco Foundation
Project called the Lambs Project. That was a very fascinating thing. That was a project where they offered over 40 girls, 50 girls. They purchased lambs for the girls that they could take care of. And then a year later, sell them at market, and with the profit from their lambs, they could finance another year of schooling and buy a new lamb. And this would go on throughout their schooling, the period of time that they went to school, and it was a very successful project. In 2010 to 2014, it became also that this NEED organization took over the project, and it was the Falco Development Grant. It was the Target Project Development Grant. Those are two different things, but they were all we were contributing to these projects through our contribution to Falco. Falco is Federation of now International Women's Clubs, and
Overseas.
Overseas, right. Although they have quite a large.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we have been supporting this for years. And when those Falco projects came to an end, since 2015, our club said we still want to continue supporting one girl with an education grant every year. And this is what we've done now. There's a lot of compelling reasons to support this organization as well. Burkina Faso is not the easiest country in the world to live in. They have a 46% literacy rate, and for girls, far less, 38%. Infant mortality is high. Life expectancy is low. And it's well known through studies, through organizations like the United Nations, they know that by providing education, particularly to girls, you can improve these situations in the countries. You can decrease poverty. You can increase healthy births in the country. You can extend the life expectancy. The key to the whole problem is getting education to the girls. So this is what we have been doing now for 10 years. And this is the girl that we have been supporting. With Nafisatu Porgo, we provide her with a scholarship of 920 euros, which covers her costs of education. And it goes to support this girl in her occupational training. She started off as a nurse and, what do they call that? Midwifery, midwifery. And she has now, she's finishing her studies right now. She is in her last year where she does practical
work out in the field, and in the end of the year she will be standing for exams, and then we hope that she will advance her career as a midwife, and that we will follow her through till the end of her training, and then we decided, okay, after 10 years' time, and all of these years supporting the Falco projects, we thought it was time to end our support of this organization because there are many other very interesting things that we wanted to support. So, next slide. Yeah, this is, I just wanted to mention this because it was something we supported in this year. It ended this year, we supported it with our last funding actually last year, but it went through March of this year. And this was the Falco Target Project, Awesome Blossoms, which I think has been presented already. So I don't want to say too much about that, but it was a very successful project, empowering women and girls to ensure a sustainable future. And essentially what it was developing hydroponic farms in schools, in an urban situation, because there's so little land to be had and it's too expensive to buy. Anyway, they said, okay, let's build these gardens in the school, in the school property. And we supported 3 of these schools doing that. And as you can see, here's just some of the things that happened. 3 new farms and so many gardens. These were vertical hydroponic gardens that were organized. The girls got an education in farming. And what was really interesting, they were able to sell some of that food to finance their schooling, to finance their communities, and also provide for one of the first times ever fresh green vegetables in their school meals. So, and for their families as well. So it was a very good project, a very successful project. And like I said, these Falco Target projects only go for a period of 3 years and then they come to the end. Sometimes we will take them over then as our charity. In this case, we're not. I think they've given a lot of support otherwise. But the new Falco Target project, which will also be supported, will be, we don't even know yet what it is. I guess
It'll be announced in March.
Yeah, announced in March.
Announced in March, right? It's voted on now in November or something like this, so we'll discuss it. And it'll be announced next March, so more on that as we get there. Okay. So, those are the charities that we supported in 2024, 2025. And are there any questions now, further questions to those charities before I get into what's new? Okay, questions at the end as well. So let's take a look. Danny Troutman has her, as you know, and everyone that was here in July to see her presentation. She has a very interesting NGO, charity organization that she has founded, that she works on personally, and it's called Sansaitos. It's Project for the Maasai in Tanzania. And if you have questions, Donnie's here, but like I said, she just presented in July, so I just wanted to let you know that what we have now voted on in the committee is to support her organization for a period of 3 years with an educational grant of 1,065 euros a year for Deborah Elishia, is that right? Okay. And Deborah is 12 years old, 13 now, I believe. Yeah, 13 now. She's already started school this year, and Danny's organization is taking care of her first year until we kick in. And this grant will cover her instruction, boarding, and school materials at a private secondary school. And you might think, so private, why does it need to be so elite? But it's the situation in Tanzania that in order to give the girls a really quality education, it needs to take place at these private institutions. Okay. Okay, and I think Danny, you personally were involved in picking out this school, and so it's really helpful to have the organization in the club. We get, really, we always talk about how do we vet these organizations that we sponsor and everything, and here we have really the person, we know the situation, we know exactly what's going on there, and we trust what's going on, absolutely. But I wanted to tell you why these sorts of educational grants are also important here is, according to the UNICEF, overall only 27% of children in Tanzania are enrolled in secondary school. It's hard to believe, right? 27%, with girls being even lower than the boys, of course. And often the girls end their schooling when they're around 12 years old, simply because the schools don't offer them the sanitary facilities they need. So when they start menstruating, it becomes a problem for these girls, and they simply drop out of school. These are the situations that are just, for us, just unbelievable. You know, you really have to look at this and understand why we do these. Okay, oftentimes girls drop out of school early also because of arranged marriages. So again, we are trying to promote the secondary education of a girl who is very promising. She's a really wide awake, intelligent young girl, and we want to give her the chance to make it, to escape all these difficulties that girls in Tanzania have, and to really give her a chance to make an impact on her community and have a good future herself. Okay, so that will be a new project for next year. Okay. The other project which we announced and is still in the planning is our Plant a Tree charity event. We are we're in contact with the organization Aktion Baum, which was the winner of the German Sustainability Project in 2022 in the category of nonprofit organizations. And it's an interesting organization. These are all volunteer professionals. They all have their other jobs, but they have a common goal, a common sense of, that they need to organize these tree planting events. They work with organizations like ours. They work with companies. They collect money to plant themselves. But what they're trying to do here is to provide a better living situation in a coming climate change situation, where we all know we have climate warming, the forests are endangered, and we know how important they are for us. So we said, this is something that we would like to offer the club as well. Not only as a hands-on experience, we would plant the trees, but also because it's not a question of only getting the trees in the ground, but it requires, for a period of a few years, that they are intensively cared for as well. And this costs money, so we would combine this with also a financial donation to the organization. And as I say, we were hoping to have a date at the end of this year. They are still getting themselves organized. They still have no date set for the end of this year, but we are keeping to it. It might be spring of next year or fall of next year, but we do want to follow this project because we announced it to the club just to get a feeling. What's the interest in the club? And we found out there is quite a bit of interest among you. So many of you said you don't want to. And it's here in Munich? The forest would be in Gilshin. Because that's it. We said we wanted a forest that we could get to, right? And because they are a small organization and they do these projects all over Germany, it just so happens they did one in Gilshin last year. It might take a while before they come back to the Munich area. But we're going to keep our eye on them and make sure that we get this done at some time. Okay. So, the charity team. We got together and we said, okay, what are the pillars of our charity? Where do we want to take it in the future? And we said, okay, we've always supported educational projects, safety and women's rights projects, women's health projects. Those are the ones that you see also in the Constitution, of course, and those are the ones that our major charities have always supported. But we said there's more to charity than that. And we wanted to expand our charity outreach in this club, and we said, okay, we want to do a project having to do with environmental sustainability, and that would be this tree planting project. But we have another idea that we wanted to discuss with you. And this is the project Community Engagement. And we were thinking, okay, we have a limited budget, but it doesn't always have to be money that we donate. No? We can donate our time and our skills. So, there are so many areas to get involved in community engagement. Here, wherever you live, whether you live in Munich, whether you live outside of Munich, wherever. There are so many ways you can get involved. And you can pick and choose. What would you like to do? Would you want to work with children? Would you rather work with adults? You could even work with startups. That was an interesting project. Startup organizations, young people coming out of the universities wanting to start a company, and they need help from their community. They need help from marketing experts, from legal experts, from engineers, or from anything. And we know we've got a lot of this talent in the club, so that's an opportunity also. You can also engage yourself in your neighborhood, in schools and libraries. A short list, and I know we're running out of time. Reading to school children in small groups, either in schools or libraries. Helping at clothing collection distribution centers. Baking cakes for seniors. Skilled mentoring for startups, I mentioned. Being there for a child whose parents are ill or incapacitated. Helping seniors with their mending projects or shopping, or teaching them how to use a smartphone. Yeah? Helping elementary school children with their homework, repairing bicycles, on and on and on. And the Green City is also offering something I thought was really interesting. If you live in Munich and you see often on the street corners the little patches of gardens, the neighborhood gardens, yeah, you can do that as well. So, lots and lots of opportunities. Yeah, and we thought, okay, what's in it for how can we get this to be something interesting for our club? And we said, okay, this is something that's really good for you too. It's well documented that volunteering your time, getting involved in your community, is really something that makes you happy and it makes you healthy as well. It's particularly a transformative experience for expats. And a lot of you who are over here for a period of years and you say, what can I do? But you don't feel quite at home, you don't feel comfortable with the language, with the customs, and this. Volunteering provides you the opportunity to be in contact with locals, understand why things are done the way they're done, to improve your language skills, whatever. There's so many things you can gain. Gain a sense of purpose and fulfillment, gain new skills, share your ideas and experience, and essentially, your engagement will make the world a little better. And that is actually what we're here to do, right? Okay, so, are you interested?
Yes. Yes.
Good. I put where you can contact us. If you're interested, let us know. We'll try to help you get started. If you have new ideas, if you would like to yourself help in the charity team to help others get involved, you're welcome. So, yeah, what do you think? How many of you would be interested in doing something like this? Something is really cool. Yeah. Great. Okay, so we look forward to hearing from you then with your ideas, with your interests. We will get you set up and find out where you might be able to be engaged in the community. And we'll take it from there. Lori, yeah.
I saw something on Facebook in the last week that there is, maybe Germans would know, is it November 21st is a read-in day where you can volunteer at different schools, and it's online. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a big deal in Germany where many volunteers go, and there's English-speaking volunteers for reading books to youngsters, and you can pick your age groups. So I don't know if anyone was aware of that, or I'm pretty sure it's November 21st, not October.
Do you have a link that you can send?
It just came to me, and I gotta look it up.
Okay. All right. I know we're out of time. Sorry. Always takes longer than you think.
Always.
Can we just do a hand?
Yeah. I'm so excited about what the charity team is doing right now. A good structural diagram is so good for me. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Everybody's attention today was obviously just stellar, and I hope that this has sparked a fire in everyone here. And for those on Team Replay who are watching the replay, because I've recorded our session today, and that will be up on the YouTube channel. It's a private channel that only people who have the link can see it. Nobody's head is in the picture except for Beth's head and my head and Lori's head, as we spoke up here, but it's not open to public. It's just on our private YouTube channel. So if there's something like, oh, what was she saying? You can actually go and watch and be on Team Replay also, if you want to see this presentation again to remind you something that you missed or something like that. Who's going to lunch? Oh, see, my arm's getting better, y'all.
Where?
Great.
Where?
That's the question. So 1, 2, there's like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10-ish, right? So Kennedy's, I guess, because 10 is easy there, but Roberta's like, never mind. Can we find another place?
Could we try Andy's, maybe around the corner?
You are welcome to try wherever you'd like. Maybe. Okay. So if you're going to go to lunch, just gather around the welcoming table there.
First, we need to put everything back.
Right. So grab your chair if you're able, and just stack. And when we're done with that, I want to clap one more time for the charity team. Thank you, everyone.
And it's nice to have this section on.
Oh,
And this one here. He hands it to the side.
Okay. Yes, thank you. That's yours. Thank you. Okay.